Hello and welcome. When applying to a job, you can be competing against hundreds or even thousands of other applicants. Watch this video to learn how a well-written cover letter can make you stand out amidst the sea of applicants. This video is the first installment in the Writing for Everyday Life series. My name's Amanda, and I'm happy to be your host. Just so you know who you're listening to, I am a fourth-year undergraduate student at the U of C. Now that I've mentioned that, you might be thinking, what exactly does this college kid know about writing cover letters? Well, I'll start by saying that the advice I give will come from experts rather than myself. In other words, I'll make sure that the information you receive is accurate and useful. That being said, I've been writing for much of my life, be that through written assignments or applications, and I think it's fair to say that I've succeeded in the written portion of my academic career. So, I do know a bit about the goods and bads of writing. You've probably been hearing this so much, but I just have to put it out there that self-care is important. This is a stressful time for everyone, which makes it so important to block off time to relax and give your mind a break. That's it for the intro. Now let's jump in to the video. As you probably have realized by now, this video will be about cover letters. But it won't just be any cover letter video. There is already a lot of great information out there regarding what cover letters are and how you should write them. That won't be the focus here. However, I have linked the Government of Canada resource on cover letters, which I highly encourage you to check out. Instead, I've personally reached out to 2 hiring managers and will be sharing their tips and tricks in separate videos. This is the first. Just to let you know, the hiring managers have been granted anonymity in exchange for graciously sharing their tips, but I am allowed to give you an idea of who they are. The first hiring manager is an engineer who works for a large corporation. He has been working in the field for over 20 years and has been at this position for over a decade. He regularly selects candidates from a pool of literally hundreds of applicants. I've compiled his tips and tricks right here in this video. The first tip is to have a cover letter. You would be surprised at just how many applicants submit a resume but not a cover letter. When applying for a position, especially a highly competitive position with hundreds of applicants, it's absolutely essential to stand out. Not even having a cover letter is an easy way to get your file thrown out without a second glance. Place yourself in the hiring manager's shoes. Rather than meticulously reading through hundreds of resumes and trying to weed applicants out, it's much easier to eliminate people from the get-go. And people who don't have a cover letter may very well be among the first to go. Now, some people might say, meh, isn't a cover letter just a summary of your resume? The answer is no, it is not. Think of your cover letter as your golden ticket. It's your opportunity to highlight what makes you the ideal fit for the position. Having a cover letter shows the hiring manager that you have put thought, time, and consideration into your application. Of course, a caveat to this is that don't include a cover letter if the job posting explicitly tells you not to. Moving on to tip number 2. Use templates with a grain of salt. Let me tell you a story of when I was in grade school. I was a nerd back then, as I am now, so I was really excited to receive my report card. I opened it up and saw that my teacher had written, "Lucy is a pleasure to have in class. Keep up the great work." Lucy. And I thought to myself, well, that's great for Lucy, but my name's Amanda. What about me? Now, I didn't rat out my teacher, and life went on as normal, but on something as important as a job application, where employers literally need to eliminate candidates, a mistake like this could break your application. Just imagine how embarrassing it would be to forget to replace an element of the template letter like the name or the address. Carelessness in this regard could cover your entire application negatively and discount all of the other great things you have to offer. So I'm not saying you shouldn't use templates. In fact, I think they can be great, but it's imperative to use them carefully. Tip number 3 has to do with the content of the cover letter. According to the hiring manager, many people fall into the trap of thinking that you should describe your greatest strengths. I'm gonna put it out there, this is false. Yes, you should talk about your strengths, but the things you mention should match as much as possible the desired characteristics listed in the job posting. Again, let's place ourselves in the shoes of the hiring manager. You, the hiring manager, have worked so hard to create a job posting, and you've thought carefully about the characteristics of an ideal applicant. Let's say that on the job posting, you list these characteristics as attention to detail, ability to work in a team, and leadership skills. You then read an applicant's cover letter, and the applicant dedicates a paragraph to how great he is at data entry. I doubt that would be impressive. It's important to focus your cover letter on the things the position looks for. The answers are almost always given in the posting itself. I know this may seem obvious, but according to the hiring manager, a concerning amount of applicants don't seem to have the principle down. Tip number 4 is keep it concise. This goes hand in hand with the above tip. Again, many hiring managers receive hundreds or even thousands of applications for just a few positions. It's not realistic to meticulously review every single application. So, once you've caught the hiring manager's attention by having a cover letter and avoiding careless template mistakes, you want to make sure that when they read your cover letter, they won't have to sift through a bunch of extra information to confirm that you are the ideal candidate. That being said, remember that there is a difference between being concise and leaving information out. Your goal is to be concise while mentioning everything that is important for the hiring manager to know. Lastly, tip number 5 is write well. The hiring manager states that one of the biggest cover letter turnoffs is when the letter itself is poorly written. In the next video, I will cover some of the most common writing no-nos that apply to both cover letters and writing in general. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one.